And this brings to mind also something, when the PGA Tour got that big infusion of money from that group that includes the Fenway Sporting Group.
Yes, it's strategic sports management.
Yeah. So they were sitting around, and now the tour is pretty much run by the players on the policy board. So
Right.
somebody had the idea that we're going to take a portion of this money and we're going to beef up pension plans payments. And great idea, behind it 100%. They only went back about a generation. They didn't go much past Tiger's generation. If you look at the players that were between Jack and Tiger that were out there supporting and building the tour, these guys, they didn't have the access to the kind of riches that the players have today, or even during Tiger's era. And they're the ones that could use a bump in their pension plans. And I've been talking with some of them, and they're not only not getting any of that money, they're not getting any respect from the PGA Tour as far as having their phone calls returned, having things explained to them about why it worked out this way. And it's kind of discouraging that the PGA Tour doesn't value this rich history that they have. I think that it's so cutthroat, so competitive, that you can't lose focus on the road that's ahead of you. But in the process, you shouldn't lose focus on the road that you've built behind you. And so when I talk to an Al Geiberger, or I talk to a Dave Stockton, or I talk to a Butch Baird, and they're like, well, we not only didn't get any money out of this new pension bump, but our inquiries into the tour organization as to what's going on, or what are, any information, didn't even get emails or letters or phone calls answered. It kind of is a little bit discouraging that especially for the PGA Tour, they've had this battle that they've been fighting with players going to live that has settled down ever since this money came in that we're talking about from the Fenway Sports Group.
That's G.
But you go back in their history, and I can show you 3 different times where the players had planned a mutiny and nearly pulled it off as they wanted to exert more and more control over the tour. There's got to be some sort of a balancing act where you get the players' feedback for how they want to see the tour organized and run, along with somebody that's got some business acumen who can help them and go, well, this is a good idea, this is a bad idea. The way that Jimmy Dunn was treated when he was trying to fulfill that role as the grown-up in the room is kind of a shame. I understand why it happened, because of the Saudi influence and the PGA Tour wanting to work some sort of a framework out with the Saudis, and Jimmy Dunn losing so many of his employees in 9/11. So I can see where he was kind of conflicted and made matters a little bit more complicated. But he had some really good ideas for what the tour needed to do moving forward. And there are a few things that need to be addressed on the PGA Tour as far as organization. One of them, a glaring one, is the equipment. They should embrace an equipment rollback to where we can start seeing a little bit more shot making
Absolutely. Yeah.
introduced to the game again, as opposed to just bombing and gouging. So that's one area. And this whole, I mean, that with all the infusion of the money that they had, and with the elimination of the court case that they were going to go through with the PIF, that they're just awash in money right now. And they don't really know exactly how they want to invest that money to grow the tour to a new stage.
Okay, so here's where I see it. So